All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the final breakout session of Summit, most exciting session of the week. Welcome. We have two wonderful presenters from Cerner, an incredible company. Please welcome Todd and Kate. Give them a round of applause.
Thanks, Dan. Can you guys hear me? All right. Well, we're really excited to be here to share our story. I think really hard, starting out on a really heavy note, got really serious, important question to ask you guys. Shark versus bears. Who do you guys think would win? In a fight, an epic battle, who do you think would win? I'll give you a second to think about it. Let's assume neutral territory. I know this is unusual for an upgrade talk, but so how many think shark?
Raise them up.
All right. How many thinks a bear can whip a shark?
Boo.
There we go. Looks like the bears are there. Well, this is the initiation question that we ask each of our new associates when they join our team. It's intended to be an icebreaker, but you really get inside of someone's thought process. Many have a hard time choosing whether a shark or a bear because they feel like, well, there's a lack of information. While others come up with really, really creative responses. Now, clearly, a bear is much more powerful and it has many more weapons than a shark. I mean, it's more agile, it can move backwards. You swipe the dorsal fin, it flips
What?
over, and it's history.
Hold up.
Whoa.
This was not part of the presentation.
Yeah, right now it isn't.
No, because sharks are much better. I mean, tons of teeth, bigger size, usually faster,
Usually.
always faster.
Okay.
And has anyone seen Sharknado? I don't see any bear-nados. Sharknados, come on.
Sharknado. Nobody ever saw that film ever. All four of them, I don't think. So these are the creative assumptions that our team kind of comes up with, and we debate. And you're probably judging us by the way I see you guys looking at me right now. That's okay. That's our culture. What does this have to do with the massive Confluence upgrade? Well, if you think about it, early adopters are like sharks. They're explorers, they're rapidly moving forward. These users want the latest and greatest in technology at the earliest possible time.
Yes, we do.
On the other hand, late adopters are like bears. They're very protective over their territory, as well as they like to stay in one area. These users are resistant to change and ultimately will delay your upgrades. This epic battle between sharks and bears will ultimately either impede or accelerate your change initiative. You have to address the concerns of both the shark and the bear in order to mitigate risk and to achieve success. Hi, I'm Todd.
And I'm Kate.
Yes. We're from Cerner Corporation. We're here today to talk to you about our migration to data center. How many of you are on an old version of Confluence? All right,
Good
there's
job.
several of you. How many are looking to upgrade in the next 12 months or so? I'm sorry. No.
This is going to help you, I promise.
Yes. So how many are on more of the business side, non-technical? IT? All right. Well, we have a mix of content for you here today, both technical and non-technical, and we really hope that you walk away with at least one tip that will help you on your upgrade journey. First, a little bit about Cerner. Cerner is the largest publicly traded health IT company in the world. We're based out of Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas.
Barbecue.
And we have over 24,000 associates worldwide. Our solutions are licensed in over 25,000 facilities in over 30 countries. We think that these four attributes best describe the Cerner culture. First, our culture, our associates are very technically savvy. This made the migration away from wiki markup very, very challenging for us. At the same time, they wanted the latest and greatest features. Again, this dynamic between the sharks and the bears. Second, we're highly regulated by FDA and ISO. So Confluence is our controlled documentation repository for Cerner. Kamala Workflows is very essential in helping us meet those regulatory needs. So as any change, any major change that we have to make, we have to go through our regulatory approval, which, as you can imagine, is pretty heavy for a change, a large upgrade like this. Third, our associates expect a high availability, multiple nines of availability, as well as performance is important. Healthcare is 24/7, and our associates are wired that way. So the migration to Confluence Data Center really, for the scalability and performance improvements, really helped us get to a point that there was some adoption there, that the associates understood the need to go there. Finally, our culture is very innovative. It's a key value from our company. And so with that comes, well, a lot of customizations. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But first, Kate will cover our agenda.
Thank you. All right, so the next few minutes, we're actually going to take you on a little bit of a trip. We're going to talk about the journey. We'll go through a little bit of the background about us, a few of our goals for success, and as well as some planning tips. We'll also take you through the actual upgrade itself. The upgrade will contain a lot of tips and tricks for you guys, as well as how we got away with doing it without any downtime. Finally, we'll go through the aftermath of how we got our community into the new normal, as well as some of the issues that we were able to resolve. So first off, let me talk to you a little bit about our Confluence instance. So we started Confluence in 2009 on 3.1 to make our system a little bit more transparent as well as collaborative between our clients and our then 7,500 Cerner associates. Well, in 2013, we found ourselves out of support. I'm sure some of you have gotten there too. And we had to upgrade. Well, we were not ready for the disappearance of wiki markup at the 4x. So we decided to do the bare minimum and upgrade to 3.5 for our clients and then 14,000 Cerner associates. Well, this year we made a giant leap. We did some acquisitions. We have 24,000 associates now. And we could not wait any longer. So we had to prepare the community for an upgrade to 5.8 data center. So with our growing population, we actually have over 600,000 wiki pages. I actually think it's about 700,000 now. Within those, we have over 160,000 controlled documentations. As Todd said, we have to be ISO and FDA approved. So we actually control documentation with our wonderful Kamala Tech plugin. We have 130,000 registered users. Now, those users end up using our system an average of 27 million times per year. And we have 58,000 of them are active every single month. We do have 22 third-party plugins and 15 Cerner customizations. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, but our customizations mean a lot to us, and they're pretty big to us. So we're going to actually talk to you a little bit about our platform. We have, with all of our customizations and everything that's going on, we had to make sure that our users are as passionate about Confluence as we are. So with everything that we're passionate about, we branded it. And we branded it as UCern Wiki. We have shirts and everything. So UCern Wiki is one of our many platforms within the UCern family. We have UCern Connect, UCern Organizations, and UCern Search. And our population loves it so much that we actually have a mascot. If anybody can see it over here. This mascot is called Ping, and Ping travels a lot. And so whether you like it or not, we're going to take a picture at the end of this presentation with all of you and Ping. So, get ready for that. The ones up front will probably be seen very well. So UCern is extremely popular in our community. We are actually considered the official company document control tool. It is used in almost all of our teams on Cerner. And we are considered recommended by not only our leadership, but also our regulatory and our legal teams. And if anyone knows how hard it is to get legal support and regulatory support, it took me 5 years. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, Confluence is big in our company. And so we were really hesitant when it came to upgrading it. And our community is really hesitant when it comes to changing it. So we had to do a little bit of some manipulations. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about the upgrade journey. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the customizations. We'll talk about some goals for success. And then we'll talk about some upgrade planning tips. Now, one tip that I want to tell you right now is when you're going to upgrade, pick a strategic date. We did not. We picked April 1st, which is also known as April Fool's Day. And since we didn't upgrade in such a long time, and we were telling everybody that we were taking away wiki markup, we had a hard time convincing them it's not an April Fool's joke. They were not happy. So definitely pick a day where you can't be made fun of and it'll actually be taken seriously. So when you actually do customizations, really want to do a bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So we really want to make sure that you have a need for it. You have something that you're actually going to use it for. It's really significant to the company because every customization you make is going to add more time and more work to your actual upgrade plan. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our customizations. First, as I said, is brand. Brand is big for us. We actually branded our system in order to have the UCERN umbrella over the top of it, connect organizations, search, and wiki. This is on all of our UCERN platforms. We do this in order to not only keep a standard Cerner experience, but also help our users be able to jump from platform to platform. Next is the client viewable banner. This is huge. When we implemented this, we were surprised by how many admins didn't know that their space was client viewable. That can have legal ramifications. Would definitely suggest this. This was big. We actually had associate-only banner on the side, and we even have when someone goes to create a page, it'll pop up saying that you are creating this in a client viewable space. So be careful of what words you put in there. Clients can see them. Next, we have the actual workflow. With our Kamala Tech plugin, we are able to put a little bit bigger in your face published banner. They already have a published little thing you can see here, a little box, but we wanted it more in your face. We wanted it more visible. So we have this one that you can see that is green, and then we also have a yellow draft and a red obsolete. This makes sure that our users know that this is the good content you're supposed to read. Next, we have a shared identity, shared avatar, and a profile across our UCERN domains. This helps be able to users to get to their information faster. And it tells them a little bit more about the user itself. And they can customize it. They can put pretty pictures on it, make it a little bit more personal to them. They love that. Finally, but not least, is my favorite. This is called Book Builder. It will be coming to a marketplace soon, I hope. Javier, I hope. So Book Builder is absolutely wonderful. It allows you to do as little as 1 to as many as 200 links, all in one book, where you can share one link to a customer, client, or to a coworker. Book Builder helps you be able to get rid of those long emails with the multiple Confluence links. You can link any page from any space in a book. Now, what you can see here is our book for our solution called PowerChart. Now, this actually has our reference materials, our help pages. It has our marketing materials, overview stuff. We're able to send this to a coworker who wants to know more about PowerChart, or a client who is interested in buying PowerChart. This is wonderful for us. Our community actually really loves it. So if anyone has sat into a regulatory audit, we are able to show what pages we want them to see. So you're not searching for pages or trying to find things. We set up a book and we flip through. And they can easily see the pages that we want them to see. Now, we also use it in onboarding. So onboarding has the availability of being able to use it kind of like a textbook purpose. So they can flip through and see different things about their benefits, about their actual onboarding, different trainings. It helps them out tremendously. So be looking for it at a marketplace. We're very excited about it. We love it. Okay, so actually upgrading, we have a very big instance. We have a very big population. And so there was a few challenges to actually upgrading. So we took those bears you hear about and those sharks you hear about, we put them in a room and we let them fight it out. So what came out of that was in 3.5, you might know that it takes a little bit more effort in order to edit documentation. You actually have to have a little bit of training in order to get in there and do it. 5.8, it was more easier. It was availability for someone brand new to pop in and be able to edit right then. So we also had a few security vulnerabilities on 3.5. For those, we were actually falling out of Atlassian support again. Wonderful times. We actually had to make our own patches and stuff. We would go to Atlassian with a thing, and all they could tell us was, if you upgraded, it would be really helpful. So 5.8 actually modernized the system. It gave us back into support. It helped us out quite a bit. It made Atlassian happy. We always want to keep our TAMs happy, right? And finally, we had longer load times and an increase in downtimes with 3.5. We were on a clustered version. So we had cluster panics where the system would go down and literally everybody would panic. And my screen would fill up with people going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Well, moving to 5.8, we had a better performance. That data center gave us that stability. It took away those cluster panics. It made me stop having heart attacks. It was great. So in the end, we had the bears and the sharks talk about it. The bears really, really, really wanted that stability of the data center, but they realized they couldn't do that on old software. So, of course, they admitted defeat, and they actually sided with the innovative, awesome sharks that we are.
All right, Kate.
Get over it, sharks rule.
We'll call it a draw right now at this point. So let's quickly jump into some goals for success. This will help you set the parameters for the upgrade, the decisions that you will invest in during the upgrade. So Confluence is mission critical to Cerner. We recognized over a year ago that we had to do better with the way we approached upgrades. We had to make it easier and faster. So we came up with these 3 guiding principles. First was to develop a repeatable upgrade process, so we don't continue to reinvent the wheel with every upgrade. So we developed collaborative documentation strategy. We had gap analysis documents. We had living design documents, test plans, work plans, all of that are reusable assets. So we feel like the next upgrade is going to be really much further ahead than when we started with this upgrade. So we're excited about that. The next was really leveraging our Atlassian TAM and third-party experts to help us move faster. Now, we've upgraded before, but nothing of this magnitude. Javier, sitting in back, raise your hand. He's awesome to help us really answer technical, functional questions, understand what's coming up in the releases, because you have a long upgrade window. You have to know what's going to hit you, as well as really validate our upgrade approach. So, leveraging, this is our second year, I would say, full year with the Atlassian TAM program, and it's fundamentally improved our relationship with Atlassian. Nobody's paying me to say that, but we really thought we were in a bad position probably 3 years ago, and we, with this upgrade, things went a lot smoother. That along with Premier support. Finally, we need to reduce the total cost of ownership. So we deprecated unused plugins, and we invested in automation to help us move faster. I've heard several talks at the summit around DevOps and automation, and that's kind of the approach that we went down as well. Okay, so throughout this process, there were many lessons learned. So tried to get them into some upgrade planning tips. First, I think major thing was that we used Agile. So we transitioned from Scrum to Kanban. We used that to avoid kind of the big bang testing effort that you get to the end and you realize that you have like 100 more issues and scope creep and that kind of thing, which pushes out your dates. So Agile really helped us deliver incremental value and test it along the way. So over 8 months of development and testing, we had 6 major release code drops, 86 stories, 69 defects, and 286 total story points delivered. Our goal was to maintain at least a velocity of 10 story points per week. If I can use this laser thing here, that brown area right there is not good. That was bad. So we were about 4 months out, and we were hitting kind of a slowdown. We were getting to the more complex add-ins that we were working on, and we were having issues coming in. And so our ability to turn them around and push them forward was slowing. So we got into a war room. We had 4 months left, and we were going to pound it out. And so with that, we were able to, knowing our target date and the velocity that we need to hit, really helped us deliver and test along the way. So we were able to hit our deadline. Next, I would say that using your champions or your sharks to help testing in a non-production environment is very critical. They want to help. They're open to change, and that's important to get that feedback from those people as soon as possible. In here, we had 2 major UAT testing phases, one 3 months out and one 2 months out. First one was with over 125 users. We sent it out to like over 400, but so you got to have a decent sample size. And then we narrowed it down to about 25 key users as we were locking in. I think the key part of that is we were able to fix 69 defects prior to going to production. And so that saved us, a big catastrophe waiting for us at the end, IT is, you can't test enough of all the edge cases out in the business, so you really need to get your sharks involved early. Finally, I'd say having a good marketing and learning plan is essential. Use all physical and virtual channels such that you can push information to those sharks and put information out there so some of the bears can consume at their own pace. Some of the ideas are videos and webinars and blogs and that kind of thing. In this in-person event, we shared our upgrade with over 500 people out in Malvern. This was really, I think it was a really successful day. Guaranteed there are going to be people that feel like they didn't get communicated to. Don't let it get you down. Just try to make sure that you minimize that risk. All right, let's move on to some more of the technical aspects and how we achieve the no downtime upgrade for our users. The first major decision we had to make was we had to figure out our upgrade path. We knew that we had multiple hops involved, but we didn't know which ones that we needed to go. So we found through trial and error that the hop from 3.5 to 4.3.7 to 5.8 was the most optimal path for us. And you have to really keep into account your plugins and the content that you have out there. So it may not exactly be optimal for you guys, because if your plugins have certain dependencies, and they require you to upgrade in 4.2 something because they don't support 4.3 something. Those are things that you just have to do the gap analysis. But this worked very well for us. So 9 hours, we're really proud to get it down to 9 hours. The 5.9 did come out mid-upgrade, but we decided to not go for it because it was just released and it had a 12.x Oracle database upgrade. All right, digging deeper into how we achieved no downtime. I'm very proud of the animations I put in here. I did not use any designers. So if you see here that we've got 3 app nodes, a load balancer, and 2 database nodes. I guess one key part, I would say, is we made our instance available in read-only, and it was not updatable during the upgrade. So it wasn't full functionality that was available during the entire time. We had to lock it, so changes weren't being made during the upgrade. But a large part of our user base are consumers of that information for the critical controlled documentation. We also did it without adding any new hardware, which is a lot of people say, oh, just stand up an instance right next to it that's exactly the same. And we were like, no, we're not going to do that because we're not going to invest in all that hardware for 9 hours or a weekend or something like that. So we have 3 nodes. It's running 3.5 instance at this point. So our first step was to hide the edit button to make it read-only. There's much more invasive considerations depending on your instance. We just went really keep it simple. We just disabled the update capability within the 3.5 instance. You could go and disable API accounts. You could change permissions at a mass level, make it read-only, and have a rollback strategy. We went with keep it simple approach because that worked for us. So the second step was we stopped the database synchronization. If you notice, the little arrow there is no longer there. The animation happened. So Node 2 is an exact copy of Node 1 after the journaling completed when we kind of cut the replication. So now we have 2 exact copies of 3.5 instance, and we're ready to start moving forward with the upgrade. So we take the nodes 2 and 3 out of the load, and we're preparing the application nodes for the upgrade. We run through the upgrade, the 9-hour upgrade as I described, the 3.5 to 4.3 to 5.8 data center hops. We tested, and we tested, and we tested. And we had automated testing, we had some manual testing, we did smoke testing, and we did this all through a temporary DNS. So we still had, as you see on the left side, you still have the 3.5 instance running read-only in production, and all our users are seeing 3.5. So after we upgraded the primary node, we moved on and made Node 3 up to 5.8 data center. So we have failover for our application layer. Next, after we verified, we cut over and we were live. We were ready to go.
I pressed the button.
Yes, it was like the big red button. It wasn't the easy button, though. So, that was really significant for us that we were able to keep the system available. We had banners, saying that it was read-only. We took those things down. And, once we went live, if you're on Confluence Server, this is something that this upgrade path still works for you. The no downtime situation probably provide a little more thought and probably hardware that you're going to have to do something like the side-by-side. But I think that this approach, there was some cleanup afterwards where we got another standby database and everything else going on involved there. But this is essentially the approach that we took. And we're really proud we got it down to 9 hours and made it available the entire time for our users. So moving on to some technical tips around the upgrade. I'm going to quickly run through these. The first tip really is to bypass any interim unnecessary conversion steps or plugin steps. So we uninstalled all our plugins when we went to the 4.x, and we took the wiki to XHTML migration task out of the picture because we upgraded and then we got to the end and then we did all that work at the end. So we didn't have to do it 2 or 3 times as we were going through each of the iterations. That was super important because that saved us about 4 hours during the upgrade. The second tip really is to skip your automatic search reindexing. This could be a killer anytime you start Confluence and it's in this interim state as you're going through upgrades, and you have to wait for that process to complete. So you're able to do that by setting this VM argument, and at the end you launch Confluence as normal, but you can kick off the search reindexing during uptime, and which is significant. We believe this saved us at least 24 hours of time. The recovery file generation. So this has super red warnings associated to it. You kind of have to know what you're doing. If you have a solid backup and restore strategy that doesn't involve Confluence out-of-box capabilities, then I would recommend disabling the recovery file generation process by using this virtual machine argument. This thing can run for upwards near 20 hours, and all it's doing is copying the bits down to the file system, and it's just in case some type of catastrophe occurs that you have a restore mechanism. Well, we already have a backup strategy across our data centers, and we already have the incremental database backups, and we knew that we were in a read-only state, so we're not worrying about all the craziness there. And so this saved us about 20 hours of time just moving bits across the wire. So this has to do with the content itself. There were several things as we were going through the process that we found the content did not convert how we wanted it to. And so we created some custom scripts around that. The first was around user macros not being compatible from 3.5 to 5.8. So we were able to find this out in non-production environments, figure out the syntax differences, and create a script to run it at the end. Our Kamala workflow definitions, we were on a really old version, and we were upgrading to the latest. And the definitions went from kind of a global definition to space level. And so we had to use some of their APIs, and we worked closely with them to be able to migrate this post-upgrade as well. And then you have the PDF rendering. So we found the exclamation point syntax was a big problem with the rendering. It was destroying our pages, and so we converted all those to the view file macro. This last tip has to do with using the right tools. And so we used Flashback for our database restore utility in non-production environments. So this is an Oracle product. I don't know if you're on Postgres or something like that. There's probably comparable products like that. But the idea of running an upgrade and being able to roll it back in 30 minutes is like killer, because we were able to run through the upgrade about 50 times to perfect our approach. That we never would have accomplished the 9 hours without being able to quickly roll back. A standard restore process could take days for a DBA to do. So this is something that I would highly recommend. Automation, you guys probably heard about this over and over and over throughout this conference. Use DevOps, and that's what we did. We were highly integrated with our operations team. We created a lot of custom scripts around continuous integration, around automated testing, around automated deployment. And this was very important for us to achieve really, the success that we had. I would say that this was probably the best investment that we made, and it's more of an investment on the future. Let Kate take it from here.
Thank you. All right, so the upgrade's great and all, but it's all what happens after the upgrade that makes it all worth it, right? It's all about the aftermath. So we're going to talk a little bit about the stakeholders, some issues we had, and our next steps. So we started preparing our community about 2 to 3 months ahead of time. We did some amazing videos, all about the differences between 3.5 and 5.8. We also did a lot of help documentation. We took what Confluence had and kind of put our own brand and spin on it. And we did classes, so many classes. Now, majority of our classes did begin with, hey, this is not an April Fool's joke. It's going to be okay. We're going to take care of you. And we actually were able to talk to them about how to do everything, what changes might need to be made. We did this before and afterwards. The majority of the classes afterwards talked a lot about kind of any of their issues and helped train them throughout. Now, the biggest thing is collaboration. Collaboration was key. We were actually able to talk to our Kamala Tech plugin. We were able to talk to our Service Rocket guys, our TAMs, our Premier support, and we all got together and made sure that everyone knew we were upgrading and what was going on. We have a collaboration portal. This collaboration portal actually helped us out tremendously. Users were able to come in and put issues that they were having afterwards. Then people like me in the consulting took those issues and figured out, is it actually an issue or do they just not know how to use the platform, which happened a lot. If it was an actual issue, we were able to go to our developers. Our developers were able to see if this is something that they could fix or if it's something that our third-party providers could fix, or TAM or Premier support. Now, since everyone was ready, we had those issues go through like that. It was wonderful. And majority of them were fixed within 2 weeks, and a lot of it had to do with making sure that they were ready, our TAM support. It was fantastic. But after we got the issue fixed, we were able to go back into that collaboration portal and let them know it's fixed or this is how to work around it, which helped out tremendously. So let's talk a little bit about issues. So since we had the automation process, since we had the flashback, and since we were able to engage our sharks early, as well as collaborate tremendously, we didn't have a whole lot of issues. We had a few issues with our third-party plugins, but like I said, we had the collaboration piece, which we got them resolved pretty fastly. But one of our biggest issues that I'm pretty sure all of you are aware, where's the wiki markup? I'm so tired of hearing that. Oh my goodness. So all of the associates thought, where's the wiki markup? I really thought they think it was an April Fool's joke. I mean, we had so much communication out there, so much prep, but they just didn't get it. So one thing that we do within our company, we collaborate again. You guys are going to get sick of that word. We have an ideas portal, which users, clients, associates are able to come in, put their idea. Other users and associates are able to vote on that idea. And in our history of the ideas portal, we've had it for a while, getting the source editor plugin was the highest voted idea that we ever had. So yes, we probably should have done it before we went live, but we thought there was going to be some issues, and since everyone was having a cow, we went ahead and implemented it. We did let everybody know that, hey, if there's problems, don't come talk to us. Sorry, oh bad. But it actually helped everyone, calmed everyone, and brought everyone back down to that new normal that we wanted them to be at. So, stakeholders are calm. System is upgraded. What the heck is next? Well, we are looking at enhancements. After seeing the keynote yesterday, I'm supporting 6X tremendously, so hopefully we'll upgrade there soon. We're also looking at upgrading our book builder. We're looking at upgrading our mobile capabilities and features. But something else that's really critical that we're looking forward to is preparing for disaster recovery. Todd, you want to talk about that?
Sure. So as mentioned, we're up highly available with data center. We're looking for physical site failover. So that's a key part of our next move in the next 3 to 6 months. So we're actually looking in 2017. You mentioned 6.x. I think we're citing more towards the sharks. With keeping up to date, we're not going to do. Our commitment to technology currency is there now. We invested in it, and that's what we're going to do.
All right. So upgrading is hard, but the more you wait, the harder it's going to be. And TAM and Premier Support make it all worth it. They make it easy, so easy. So I highly recommend that you be like a shark, don't be like a bear, and be innovative and upgrade. Now, before you all leave, we're going to take a picture. So I want everybody to smile, okay?
Dan,
you want
up
to
here.
come in on our selfie?
Let's give him a round of applause while we take this selfie action.
All right.
You got
We might need
tech
take-
savvy.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yay! Smile!
that's my hand. Okay.
Wow, you're so bad at this.
Yeah, I am horrible.
We got it.
I don't have Dan.
Hit it.
Hit it.
We got it.
All
All right.
right,
Thank
thank you.
you.
I swear we prepared that part. Thank you all.
Yeah, we'll stepping back if you guys want to kind of riff about any of your upgrade woes.